Picture this. You're lying in bed, it's years later, and out of nowhere, your brain serves up that one cringy moment from 8th grade. You know the one. The time you said something so unbelievably stupid in front of everyone. All of a sudden, your face gets hot, your stomach just drops, and it honestly feels like it happened yesterday. If these random embarrassing memories totally hijack your mind, well, this explainer is definitely for you.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Why do these memories haunt us? Today, we're going to explore the hidden psychology behind why some of us just can't seem to forget even the tiniest awkward moments. And let me tell you, it's not a sign of a bad memory. It's actually a very specific way your brain is wired. We're going to break down exactly why this happens and, maybe most importantly, talk about some really practical ways to teach your brain a new way to respond so you can finally let those memories lose their power over you.
So here's the key thing to understand. This whole pattern usually starts way back when we're young. As kids, we figure out pretty fast that social slip-ups can lead to being laughed at or feeling shame or even being rejected. So your brain, trying its best to protect you from that pain ever happening again, started flagging and storing every single awkward moment with extra intensity. You can think of it as a warning system that's designed to prevent future social pain. Now, there's a psychological term for this, and it's called post-event rumination. It's basically that thing your brain does where it replays a social event over and over, analyzing every little thing you said or did. This whole process gets supercharged by something called a negativity bias, which is basically our brain's ancient survival software that makes us pay way more attention to potential threats, like social rejection, than to good or just neutral stuff. And when you feel embarrassed, your brain releases stress hormones that act like superglue for that memory, making it stick around. And this slide just perfectly illustrates that disconnect, right? On one hand, it can totally feel like your brain is broken or that you're just being way too dramatic. But what's really happening under the hood is this misguided survival instinct. Your brain isn't trying to punish you. It genuinely thinks it's keeping you safe by constantly reminding you of these past dangers. And just understanding this is a huge first step to changing the whole pattern. So is any of this starting to sound a little familiar? Let's take a look now at 4 of the clearest signs that you might be caught up in this cycle. See how many of these really resonate with you. First up, physical flashbacks. This is when a memory from years ago doesn't just pop into your head, it triggers an immediate physical reaction in your body. You could just be driving your car or brushing your teeth, and then, bam, your heart starts pounding, your face gets hot, or your stomach clenches, as if that embarrassing moment is happening all over again right here, right now. The second sign is what I call the mental replay loop. After pretty much any social interaction, you find yourself just endlessly analyzing the conversation. And you're not just remembering it, you're actively hunting for anything you might have said that sounded awkward or weird or just plain stupid. It's like this relentless internal critique that can literally go on for days. And of course, that replay loop leads us right into our third sign, the avoidance trap. Because you want to prevent creating any new cringeworthy memories, you start to avoid social situations. Maybe you skip a party you were invited to, or you just stay completely silent in meetings at work. This avoidance just fuels social anxiety and perfectionism, and over time, it actually makes your world feel smaller and smaller. And finally, all of this can really start to take a toll on your self-worth. These memories, they begin to shape your identity. You start to internalize them and believe that you're just a permanently awkward person. You assume everyone else remembers your mistakes just as vividly as you do, even though, spoiler alert, they've almost certainly forgotten. And this constant feeling of being judged just slowly chips away at your confidence. Okay, so if you recognized yourself in any of those signs, this is the most important part of this whole explainer. You are not stuck, I promise. This is a learned mental habit, which means the good news is you can absolutely train your brain to react differently and to finally let go. So how do we actually do that? Well, here's a simple 3-step process. First, name the pattern. The next time a cringy memory pops up, just calmly say to yourself, there's that post-event rumination. It's just my brain's old protection program running again. Just naming it helps create some distance. Second, use the time travel test. Ask yourself, will this moment matter in 5 years? What about 5 months? The honest answer is almost always no, and this helps put the memory back into its proper, much smaller perspective. And third, and this one is so crucial, practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you would to a good friend who just messed up. Instead of criticism, offer kindness. This isn't about being easy on yourself, it's about understanding that kindness is what actually rewires that shame response way more effectively than judgment ever could. And this really brings us to the core message here. These moments, these tiny little blips in a much, much bigger and more complex life story, they do not define who you are. The real power isn't in trying to erase the memories, but in changing your response to them when they show up.
I want you to think of it this way. For years, your brain has been working overtime, really trying to protect you. It got a little overzealous, yeah, but its intentions were good. So now you can take over. Your job is to gently and consistently teach it that you're safe now, that social mistakes are not life-threatening dangers, and that it can finally stand down. So really, you're at a crossroads. You can keep listening to that old, fear-based story your brain has been replaying for years, or you can start telling a new one. A story of self-compassion, of resilience, and the freedom that comes with just letting yourself be imperfect. The choice of which story gets your attention? Well, that's entirely up to you.